Okay, greetings and welcome. So we did a little bit of theory on Wing Chun and taking three movements, elastically loading them into your core and expressing them as one movement. So I call it 3 as 1. And this is where you take key patterns that are very important for Wing Chun structure and Wing Chun application, and you string them together. So you take all the fundamental movements in Wing Chun and you put them into different combinations of 3, and then you express them as singular movement. So we had a gan sao, high gan, low gan, and a punch. So we had 1, 2, 3, and then we applied as a single movement. And this 3 as 1. It's what you do in your first lesson. This is what you want. You want to teach your body to move synchronistically as a unwinding of a spring when you express force. Now, what's more important than this is the next principle: timing. Timing is it differentiates the best fighter in the world from the 10th best fighter in the world, in the 20th and the 50th. It's not fitness, speed, power, technique, it's timing. It's what allows an old man to defend himself and poke someone in the eye, because they got their finger in that person's eye right at the right moment. They had the perfect timing. Now, when you're inputting information into your body consciousness, the way you input that information, the way the neurogenesis of the brain relates to the movement, will dictate how that movement is used in the future. So if I do something too much in the air and not in relation to the timing of its function, the timing won't be the birth of the learning. The first time you learn a technique, you really need to be inside the mastery of the timing. So you throw a punch at your partner, and your partner puts their hand there. They do a pak sao. Now, this is the first time they learn pak sao. It's very important that the application of the movement, the first exposure has to be timing, that they learn how to do the timing and they receive the punch and parry it. That the neurogenesis of the brain builds pure, perfect timing. Not technique, timing. The technique comes after. So let's say I throw a punch and my partner throws a punch and I parry, and they throw a punch and we have this parry punch drill that most Wing Chun people do. Now you would stop at some point and say, okay, check your elbow, drop your elbow, hang the shoulder, drop the hip, stretch the spine, ground yourself, now put yourself underneath. So with that parry, float your partner. And then from there, once you got your partner floated, as you pak sao the root, and then you pop the feet off the ground and you shock the body inside the pak sao. So you first get the timing right, and then you go into your core structure of your mechanics, and then you integrate the personality of that mechanics to affect your partner. And the neurogenesis of the brain, and this is all happening within a few minutes, where you start integrating the deepest, most internal principles of that movement in straight away. It needs to be done on day one, right at first contact, right at that first touch, right at the first exposure where the mind goes, what's that? That's called pak sao. Okay, that's a parry. It's got a shock energy to it. How does it work? What's the timing? If you do a protocol where a person walks down the room and goes 1, 2, 3, they're gone. It can take months to years to undo that mess, because the neurogenesis of the brain doesn't relate to pak sao as stopping a punch. It relates to pak sao as parrying in the air and throwing a punch in the air. So you missed the target and you missed the target twice. So it's generating a very bad habit. You want to minimize this type of training in the air. You want to maximize timing with your partner, feeling your partner. Now, the 3 as 1 movement, you're going to train that after you've developed the timing for that application. Once you've done the drill and got perfect timing with it, then you're going to start stringing it together inside your body to do these 3 movements as one. And you're going to find that if you follow this protocol, in one lesson, students can be doing the parry punch, the gansao, the high blocks, the tan, against very fast attacks, because that's all their mind knows. They only know timing, so the timing will be there in the application. So when you start training this, start teaching this information, don't worry about anything else other than timing. Get their timing perfect, and then refine their structure, and then bring the personality of the technique out, and then loop that together, and the power will come later. So your structure, your technique, all that has to come after the timing first. If the timing's not there, the person's going to get punched in the face, and we don't want that. We want the perfect timing. Okay, so this will apply right across every technique in the whole Wing Chun system, and any martial art for that matter. And what ends up happening is your class ends up being like sparring. Person's throwing parry punch, and they throw hook, and they throw low punch, and they throw knife hand, and you're having to manage all those techniques and do perfect timing. And as you do this within one lesson, a person will be able to parry and move, defend against those, and put a counterattack straight away and start flowing with perfect timing. When the mind has this timing and the neurogenesis of the brain is growing inside of the perfect timing, then you can amplify power, you can amplify speed, you can amplify all these other qualities, increase mobility, footwork, and so forth. And from the birth of timing, everything else grows. Okay. Thank you for your time.